Hey folks, got a little something new on the workbench today, and not to leave anyone in suspense, you can see plainly from the box it is a Walther product. Walther implies that it's probably a firearm, and the size of this box implies that it is probably a handgun type firearm. So for those of you playing along at home, if you guessed that it is a firearm of the handgun variety, you win. Alright, now let's take a look and see what it is. This is the unboxing. Just picked this item up today, just this morning, from my local toy store. This is the Walther brand new model called PPX. This is the 9mm variety. So this is exactly the way it comes packaged when you purchase it. You have two magazines. One is in the gun, one spare. We have our Youth Handgun Safety Act notice paperwork. We're going to have some additional paperwork to look at too. So the magazine capacity is 15. And then if we add one in the chamber, that will give us a total loaded capacity of 16 rounds. And again, we have two magazines supplied. Okay, so before we get into a whole lot of discussion about the gun itself, let's just take a quick look at what comes with it in the box. Set the gun aside for a moment. And let's take a peek under here. We have one each standard gun lock. If you've ever bought a firearm in the United States of America, you know what this is. Okay. Now under here we have, product manual. And I did browse at this a little bit in the store while paperwork was being done and phone calls were being made, and it's actually nice. It's a nice user manual. It's color. It's nice glossy, high quality paper, and content looks to be good. I mean, they do a nice job of describing the product, describing how to use it, how to take it down, where to oil it, all that good stuff. So as always, I recommend that you read that cover to cover. What else do we have? Some paperwork from NSSF, National Sports Shooting Foundation. Good to see that. Probably something for warranty registration. So, yep, warranty registration. And looks like that's about it. So, we had the lock, the manual, NSSF brochure, and warranty registration, and that's about it. So it's a pretty no frills type of package. So let's put the gun back in there. That's what you paid the big money to look at while you're watching this, listening to me yak. So key features of this thing, we're dealing with a polyframe metal slide system. The slide and the barrel are coated with what is called Tennifer, Tennifer, and that is a proprietary coating product or process, or both, that somebody makes. I don't know who. The overall weight is it specs in at 1.7 pounds, and I haven't done the math to convert that straight to ounces, but I'm guessing that's probably 28 to 30 ounces. I don't know. We can do the math later. The overall length is 7.3 inches, so that's going to be here to here, and the overall height is 5.6 inches, and that should be from the very bottom to the very top of the sights. What else in terms of just sort of key features? Probably the biggest key feature that I thought was very interesting about this gun is, if you look at the back there, this is a hammer-fired pistol, not a striker-fired. So kind of an interesting departure in action type with the success over the past year and a half or 2 years of the Walther PPX, which is a striker-fired pistol. It's interesting to see them take a step, I don't want to say back, but take a step sideways to a hammer. But let's just take a quick look at that. This is something that, yes, I know a lot of people get annoyed when you show clear on a video, but it's a good habit, it's a good important practice, and so I just want to preach it and ingrain it. The reason I want to make sure it's clear is because I want to be able to pull the trigger here. Now watch the back. See the hammer? Put my hand there for contrast. And watch this. Interesting, isn't it? Let's do that one more time. This is in the non-reset, so let me go to reset, and then we have reset, and if I bring it all the way forward, that'll go flush and disappear. And then, so this is hammer fired, but the hammer is very unobtrusive, as you can see. It's essentially, you might even want to consider that a mostly internal hammer. It only comes out a little bit during the firing process, and then it recesses again very well. So it's should be very snag-free for all intents and purposes. It doesn't exist from that perspective. Now, whether you could be concerned about something getting down in there and interfering with the hammer, that's a legitimate concern. So, you know, we'll talk maybe after I've fired this some and I'm doing a more of a review than an unboxing. We'll talk about whether that's whether this should be a carry gun or a range gun or a duty gun or what. But the fact that it's a hammer design intrigued me, and so I was, you know, I asked to take a look at it, and I spent some time playing with that, and even did a field strip at the counter just to get a look at the mechanism and the working in there. We'll do that at another time. That's not appropriate for the unboxing. So we have a hammer fired rather than striker fired, and I suppose there's maybe, you know, there may be some cost saving there, you know, in those two different types of designs or mechanisms, because one of the main I think purposes for Walther, one of the main motivations for Walther producing the PPX, I believe, was to hit a particular price point, because the PPX is anywhere from what, probably anywhere from between $5.5 to $700 MSRP. This one comes in starting at, you know, like $4.5. So you're looking at, you know, anywhere from $450 to $500 range for this gun. So it comes in considerably less expensive, between $100 and $200, depending on different configurations, from the PPX. So they're looking to make this, to be able to put this in the hands, literally, of more people, make it more affordable. Other than that, it shares a lot of the same qualities. You can see that there's a traditional magazine release button in the grip, just forward of in the frame rather, just forward of the grip, in the traditional location, rather than the one that goes down into the trigger guard. Although I believe the new PPX M2 that is now newly being made also has reverted to this traditional style magazine release. So I don't know if it's function or just unpopularity or whatever. Notice the trigger is a little different here. The trigger does not have a trigger safety design, because this is for all intents and purposes, a double action only firing mechanism. It is categorized as double action only, and it is a hammer fired double action mechanism. So there is no safety there. The trigger pull is the same every single time, and the trigger pull is rated at 6.5 pounds. I haven't fired it live, but it feels a lot lighter to me. So I don't know, I'll be interested to see with live fire how that feels, just cycling it, you know. But it's got that same Walther smooth, crisp trigger feel. Very nice feel to it. So again, I can't wait to really get out and put that through some of its paces. It's got the trademark Walther ergonomic design on the back strap. If anything, the PPX is even a little bit more pronounced, a little more exaggerated here in terms of this jut out dog leg, whatever you want to call it, angle on the back strap. That's something I'm gonna. It feels good. It feels comfortable to me, and it feels like a fairly intuitive design. It seems like it, you know, it fits the hand nicely, even though it looks odd and it looks like it wouldn't be comfortable. But again, it's something I'm going to have to form a better opinion about with some shooting, some good quality range time. So what else? Key specs: 4-inch barrel, 16 round capacity in the 2 magazines. So 16 plus 1 is our capacity, which is a pretty healthy capacity. There aren't too many. Glock just beats that by 1 with their 9mm series, the 17 and the 34. What else? The sight radius is spec'd at 6.3 inches, so that's a decent sight radius. You know, anytime you've got 6 inches or more of a sight radius, that should give you a decent picture to work with. It should help with accuracy. I'll look at the sights. And that's about it as far as key features and key specs. So the overall initial look and feel is very good. Fit and finish is excellent. Quality seems to be top-notch. It's like I say, they may be targeting this for a slightly lower price point than the PPQ, which they are definitely, but it doesn't feel like they're really sacrificing. You're not sacrificing any quality anywhere. They've probably achieved that in some degree with design, type of action, and maybe, you know, fewer frills here and there. There's some things that are obviously different. So it'll be interesting to, what I'd like to do ultimately is compare the two side by side, but we'll see how that goes. There we have the first look and unboxing of the Walther PPX. Again, brand new model offered this year by Walther in 9mm and 40 caliber. This is the 9mm variety, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get out and shoot this thing, see how it is, get some opinions, look at the accuracy and just the overall fun factor, and then maybe talk about why you would want this gun and what you would want it for.